Some of the nation's top high school prospects looking at college. We're in Atlanta for the Under Armour Next Camp. We're going to talk about some of the best defenders that Alabama might be able to sweep into their class coming up next year. And we got an explanation as to why Ryan Grubb, the former offensive coordinator that was never really announced, didn't take the job and went to the NFL. He explained that. We're going to talk about it right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. That's a great way of saying roll tide. We're closing in on 5,000 subscribers, and we're pretty happy about it. And we're really happy that you're here. So make sure that you're one of them. And if you're not, here's your invitation to the Capstone's best tailgate party. Roll tide. Ready, everybody, and roll tide. Big Elmo, Brett Elmore in the house at BrettElmoreShow.com. And I'm at Broadcaster Mick on the socials, and Mick Gillispie here talking about Alabama sports on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. What's up, dude?
Hope you had a great weekend. Roll tide to everybody, and had a big basketball win over the weekend, so it was good for me.
Yeah, look, Bama took care of business. 6 games left in hoops. They have a chance to win another SEC championship. I've always felt like the SEC championships that you win in the regular season are more prevalent than the tournaments, but they've won those as well. So congratulations to them. Last night, Bama women beat Auburn. Jay Barker's daughter doing it again. I got to tell you, Sarah Ashley with a fantastic game, helped Alabama come from behind. So congratulations, a win there. Baseball took care of business. Softball with some nice wins. So it was a good weekend for Alabama. But we're going to talk football recruiting here, just because that's where the bread and butter is. That's where it's at.
That's where we spread that, the bread and butter. And the Under Armour camp over in Atlanta, Mick, I tell you, you hear about all these camps. This is one of the big ones in the South, Under Armour Next. And tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, look, this is a great camp, and we're going to keep an eye on a lot of these camps just to see how this new staff is adjusting, who's recruiting these guys, who they're going after, some of the players that we're expecting to see join this class, because recruiting has been one of the things that led Nick Saban to so much success as Alabama's football coach, right? And that's where Coach DeBoer has really taken some stratinal, is that people say, hey, man, this guy's not going to be able to recruit. Now, he finished Nick Saban's staff successfully, but this year's going to be his first full staff, and his guys got to figure out who they like, who they're focused on. And I've said it before, and I really believe this. Alabama's won championships, and it's been because they've dominated the recruiting scene in the Southeast. That's why a camp like this, the Under Armour Next Camp, is important. And this was over 100 prospects and recruits from the Southeast that were in Carrollton, Georgia, Carrollton High School for the event. So, one of those things that you look back at and you go, hey, man, some of the best players in the country were there. And so let's just start with a Georgia recruit and a Georgia commitment, right? Manchester, Georgia's Justus Terry, big guy, 6'5", 275. He's a 5-star guy. He's got Georgia listed as where he's going, but he says Alabama is right there next to him. This would be a really interesting flip if Alabama could pull it off. And Freddie Roach, who we're going to talk about a lot on this video, very active when it comes to recruiting Terry.
Freddie Roach is the guy I would definitely put on him. The 6'5" defensive lineman out of Georgia. Yeah, will he stay home in Georgia or will he flip? If we could get this 5-star to flip, that would be major. And You were talking about recruiting, and that's one thing I've really enjoyed watching since DeBoer's hire is them really beating the bushes, hitting the pavement, and of course, being at this camp is one place you need to be. And Freddie Roach is a great recruiter, and he's over there trying to lure some of these guys over to the Crimson Tide, and I think he may accomplish something there.
Yeah, Manchester High School, Douglasville, Georgia. He's been sought after by a lot of schools, but Alabama, Auburn, Florida in the mix. Everyone trying to chase Georgia right now. And you feel like this is a guy that you're going to hear his name more and more as Alabama and Freddie Roach try to dig in. Now, he's not the only defender that Alabama was looking at. He's on the defensive line. But 4-star edge rusher, one of two guys we're going to talk about on this video, Jared Smith. This guy's 6'6" and 230 pounds. I mean, a big guy that can run, that's going to get after the quarterback from Thompson High School. And another guy recruited by Freddie Roach. Freddie, who just got the promotion last week, very busy.
Yeah, it seems like he has his thumbprint on everything right now. Thompson always, of course, perennial high school football program in the state of Alabama. This will be a guy to watch, like you mentioned, 6'6", 230, a 4-star, participating in the camp. And once again, Freddie Roach, all over him. Love it.
Another guy that a lot of the services project Georgia is going to get, but you got Alabama, Auburn, Florida in the mix, other schools in there as well. This is a guy, though, from Thompson High School that Alabama really needs to go after and bring home. And you also have Kane Womack in there now, Kane Womack in there now, the defensive coordinator. He's going to be in the mix on these as well. But these are the guys that Alabama has lured to Tuscaloosa in the past. And I feel like for them to be successful, they're going to have to keep doing that.
Yeah, and we've talked on the show, several times about keeping these recruits in state. This kid from Thompson and the next one we'll talk about from Enterprise, those are two guys you got to keep at home. And we need to keep them here in Tuscaloosa, preferably, obviously. But, yeah, got to dominate the home turf. And this is a guy that needs to stay at home and play for DeBoer.
I think one of the things, too, that you like about where Alabama is with their defensive staff is they lost a couple of guys on the offensive side of the ball to the NFL, but they still have their full complement of coaches that are out there on the defensive side of the ball. And one of the guys who Alabama really hated to see decommit was 4-star edge rusher Zion Grady out of Enterprise, 6'4", 210. And when Nick Saban left, he bowed out for the time being anyway. He was at the camp, very impressive guy, and someone that Alabama is trying really hard to bring back into the picture. 6'4", 210, a lot of speed. He's a guy that can get a bunch of sacks. Even though he decommitted from Alabama, I think a lot of people feel like he's still committed. And all three of these guys are planning on or have visits to Tuscaloosa planned or in the process of planning. And they're hearing a lot from not just Freddie Roach, but also Kalen DeBoer making a good impression on these guys. Grady, though, is a priority for Alabama because you just don't want to lose those guys that you already had committed and someone that can get after the quarterback.
Yeah, you don't. And we've seen some of these people who decommitted and recommitted. Hopefully, Zion Grady will. But one of the best recruiters would have to be the guys on the team. So get them on campus, see what that's all about. Let them hang out. And you know how it is. We talked about it the other day, I believe. These guys keep up with one another on Twitter, on Instagram, on the socials. And they have a big factor in the recruiting as well.
Yeah, so just a couple guys from the camp, but again, over 100 different players from across the country that were there. Wow. These are just three guys who I thought, two of them with Terry and Smith, Alabama fighting Georgia for. Grady, Alabama trying to get back after him decommitting when Nick Saban retired. And that's, kind of what you deal with during a coaching change. Although I really do feel like Kalen DeBoer has done an excellent job of keeping a lot of the guys who were committed to Alabama in Tuscaloosa, or at least committed to coming to Alabama.
Yeah, he's done a good job. I think we graded him out a week or two ago of an A in his efforts so far. And it'll be interesting to see how these three players pan out. Obviously, with Freddie Roach over there, recruiting and trying to pull these guys back over to the top, especially like you mentioned the decommitment and from Enterprise, Zion Grady. Have you ever been to Enterprise?
Yeah, I have. Isn't that home of the Boll Weevil?
That's right. Got the statue of the Boll Weevil in the middle of the town. Kind of an odd place to visit. I mean, you wouldn't want to go there on vacation. Although, people in Alabama, they can drive through there to get to the beach. But
that's
just stop by.
Yeah.
If you need to stop and get gas, stop in Enterprise and stretch your legs and look at the Boll Weevil statue and think, wow, that's weird.
Yeah, right. I used to go on the way back from Panama City, back in my college days at Alabama when we would slide down to Cub Vila and Spinnaker.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd stop at this restaurant called Po Folks.
And
Po Folks?
Yes.
Great country restaurant. My fascination with fried chicken livers, which I hate to admit, but I love them. Yeah. And they did the best fried chicken liver. So on the way back or the way there, I always seem to slide in for fried chicken litters, chicken livers, mashed potatoes, and sweet tea. I guess.
Wow. Do you like the beef liver and onion? No. Okay.
Just chicken. I don't know why.
I like the chicken livers. We have a little fast food place here that's really good at them.
The best of all, though, chicken liver wise, every Friday, if I'm in Tuscaloosa in time, there's a restaurant called City Cafe.
Yeah.
Across the bridge in Northport, right? In downtown Northport. I've been going there since I was a student at Alabama. And they hand you the menu, and the menu looks exactly the same. Like it's folded over plastic, and I was like, just push it back at them. It's fried chicken livers, mashed potatoes, candied yams, stuffed eggs, which are really deviled eggs, but they call them stuffed eggs, and Diet Mountain Dew.
Diet Mountain Dew.
I don't know why. Just but it used to be Diet Coke, and then they got Diet Mountain Dew. So that's what I do there, and I've been doing that for way too long. But it is the best Friday meal. And there used to be this guy named Grady, unrelated to Zion Grady. He was an old guy.
Right.
And he had like a houndstooth hat, and he would come in on Fridays, and just so happened to be, I was there a lot. And the guy had like this whistle, and an old dude. He even has like in one of the booths, he sat in the same booth every time, I think, or pretty close to it. They have like a plaque for him or something, but he'd blow the whistle and get everybody in the place to do the roll tide on his way out of the door.
Oh, that's cool.
Talk about like an 89-year-old guy.
Yeah.
Loved him. Loved City Cafe. Loved chicken livers. All right. Let's change gears here, Brett. You're making me hungry. Ryan Grubb explained his exit to the NFL. Basically, what he said was he knew when he was coming to Tuscaloosa to join Coach DeBoer, which was something that he was fine doing, that he would be in the mix for the job with the Seahawks. He knew Mike McDonald from the football camp that they have.
Combine, I believe.
Combine in it, yeah, in Indianapolis. And McDonald and him hit it off. He just left Seattle, so he wouldn't have to move, being the offensive coordinator with the Huskies. And in Seattle, the Huskies are here and the Seahawks are here. Right. Seahawks they're pretty much they're like Alabama football. Great fans, very passionate fans. People love the team. The Huskies, people like the Huskies. They love the Hawks. Mm. So it was a job that he wanted. He really wanted it. He felt like that was a unicorn job. And he said that he didn't know if he was going to get it or not. So that's why he came to Tuscaloosa. And then when he got the job, he left. But he wishes DeBoer and Alabama the best. Your thoughts?
Well, okay. I mean, we talked about ultimately it was going to be, do you want to be in the NFL or do you want to be in college?
Right.
And obviously he wanted to be in the NFL. He does have to move across the country now. His wife probably and kids probably like it in Seattle. And this is a unicorn job. In 2 years, he'll be looking for another one probably. But who knows? I wish him the very best. I don't know what got me was, standing up there. I am your offensive coordinator. And then a couple days later, adios. See y'all later.
Yeah, didn't need that. Didn't need that from him. But you know what? Everything's going to be fine. I mean, I hate to but whatever. Move on. Next guy. Yeah. All right, Brett, thanks for hanging out. I want to remind everyone that if you want to pimp your man cave out, we need to do that with your studio, Brett. And I think we're working on that as we speak.
I only have one thing on my wall.
What is that, by the way? Jasper High?
That is a aerial photo of Jasper's football stadium.
That's what I thought. Okay. All right. Well, look, newlifeart.com, promo code Bama Tailgate gets you 15% off of a regularly priced item at New Life Art. And that could be a print, that could be a canvas, that could be mugs, that could be a calendar, that could be, if they still have it, the Kenyon Drake statue, which I've got in here. But a lot of great stuff. I love Daniel Moore. I always have. I think he's the best in the business. And it really is cool to be associated with those guys. And I want to pass that code on to you, Bama Tailgate. Brett, any final thoughts?
Roll Tide, Mick, and we'll talk soon. Hope everybody has a great week.
Yep. Have a great week, guys. Roll Tide. And like Brett said, we will talk to you again really soon.